Good afternoon, fellas. This is the Jets franchise CPU drafted fantasy franchise on Madden NFL 09 with Brett Favre on the cover with the Jets. Well, I guess. No, he wasn't on the Jets until his Xbox 360 and that shit. But 10-5, going up against a Patriots team. I think both of us, I don't know why there aren't X's across this board. Looking at it, we're 10-5. We got other teams that are 8-8, 9-7. Already made the playoffs. But it's going to be a matchup against that Patriots team to win the division, who might possibly end up getting into the first round of the playoffs. I'm looking forward to it, especially because we had one of the best steals in a draft. Packers winning the top of the NFC at 12-4 right there. But 10-5. We got the better team. Obviously the best defense in football. The likes of Terrell Suggs on the outside. We got Terrell Suggs and Derek Johnson at a UT. I mean, this defense is stellar, fellas. We got Watson. He's 89 overall. He was a top 10 pick. He was a cornerback out of Florida State. Known for high level of athleticism, jumping. And he was cornerback out of Florida State. I'll just take it with what you will. The dude's already a stud. 89 overall. We got Aqib Talib, a young Aqib Talib. And we also have Asamoah, number 45, one of the captains on this team. Here at the coin toss. But looking at it, we had a cornerback out of Notre Dame, 6'4", good speed, can leap, can tackle decently well. But not many balls are going to get past him down the field. If you have a Randy Moss type dude, it's going to be nice to have a safety who's 6'4" and that athletic. So we moved him to safety. He's about 84 overall. Now, he seemed to be one of those guys with first-round talent that we moved up to get in the second round. Just beautifully done. I'll take it. And then a nice tackle by Mr. Root after Terrell Suggs pretty much gets like a half tackle, if you want to call it that. But back to the game. What's most important at this moment is that we get the ball after that one. They got the ball to start off the game. Matt Leinart in this offense on the New England Patriots. Bad second move by MJD. But hey, still gets a broken tackle to start off. But Jason Campbell, just being Jason Campbell. It's got some great targets with Roy Williams at this point. Speaking of, going to be a nice first down pass to Roy Williams. Got Deshaun Jackson, a young Deshaun Jackson, a solid offensive line. And then a nice little speedy, basically just an Aqua Teen Hunger Force meatball, just running up and down the field. That's MJD. What is he, like 5'6" or so? I believe so. But a pass out, that should have been picked off. Bad read. Again, this team's running some good blitzes against our offensive line. Pretty solid offensive line overall. But still, though, second and inches for this Patriots team. Eric Weddle gets the attempt. Gets broken off of right there. But hey, Willis McGahee, he ends up getting taken down before the first down. Only to barely get a tight end. Basically, it seemed like an out hook. I don't know, just stupid, but it is what it is. Another first down right here to Webb against Talib. And then going to be a wide receiver screen to Wilford for about roughly 6 or 7 yards. And then another first down. Nice run right here by Willis McGahee. He ends up getting taken down by Terrell Suggs. 1st and 10 later on in the drive. Drop back by Matt Leinart. Going to try to get it down the field. But Dotson out of Notre Dame, the guy that I was talking about, moved to free safety from cornerback. The dude's just going to be a stud too. Should have been picked off by Terrell Suggs. But it's all good, dude. You're going to do most of your damage in the passing game when it comes to rushing the quarterback. But pass down the field, Roy Williams. Bad timing on the jump anyways. Not the best of throws either. He's supposed to have a cannon. Fucking Jason Campbell is. And yet, at the same time, he's underthrowing balls to wide receivers that can easily outrun their guy. He can definitely outjump him, Roy Williams. But still, it's going to end up being Patriots ball later on. First down on that one later on in the drive. 2nd and 11. Nice little play right there to Webb again. Another first down. Should have been picked off by Rude, but it's all good. That's a fumble on the play, and beautifully done. Asamoah ends up getting a fumble recovery. Matt Leinart ends up injuring his elbow. No worries for the New England Patriots. Maybe for the rest of this drive, but you know, they weren't going to get a first down anyways. But he's going to just have a bruised elbow. Come back to that one. Mr. Cook, the Cook got burned on that play. It's going to lead to 20 yards now from 2nd down. and then a pass out to Deshaun Jackson. That's going to be incomplete. So really not much going for either of these offenses at all whatsoever. It's two solid defenses. This should have been caught. I was trying to throw it to Parker, but Green was right there. But still, though, Smith going to be a 15-yard face mask by Papa DiGiorgio. And pretty much the weakest link on this linebacking crew here in the 3-4. And then to Keeb Talib. Nice broken up play. 3rd and 10. Matt Leinart ends up throwing it out. Another batted down ball by Eric Weddle. This is a young secondary when you think about it. This is like, what, Madden 11, Madden 12. Eric Weddle is already pretty much a stud at that point. And right here, nice pass out to Deshaun Jackson. Pass out to Mr. Martin. However, I thought it was shit that he didn't end up catching that. There's a reason. It was defensive pass interference. Automatic first down. Should be at the spot of the ball. And we're right at the 15 inside the red zone. MJD going to get roughly 6 yards on this one. 2nd and 4. Again, no points on the board just yet. It looks to be continuing as that. As it's going to be a holding penalty. And they have the choice to also lose down and make it 3rd and 9 with a sack. But, excuse me, Jason Campbell gets sacked on the play. Just not much going for this offensive line to start off the game. Pass out to Deshaun Jackson. Gain some yardage a little bit from Mr. Headley. And it should be the first points on the board. 3 points. Just a little bit right of the middle. And here we go, another screen out. And it's going to be dealt with quite well. I think this defense's awareness is good enough to sniff that out too well. None of these screen passes have worked. And the offensive line just gives up a sack. And it's going to lead to great field position for the New York Jets. 3-0 still. And got 2-minute warning hits. Pass out to Deshaun Jackson. That should get another 2 or 3 yards after the catch. And then nice play out here to Mr. Askew. And then Mr. Askew is going to make his way for another roughly 5 or 6 yards. Ball out. Another sack against Jason Campbell. This offensive line just not doing all too well. But hey, beautiful route ran by Roy Williams. It was an out and up. Just real quick. It was just going to look to be a bullet pass. That's what it ended up becoming. And it was a nice touchdown for this Jets offense. It's going to be 10-0 at this point. Jets get the ball first here in the second half. Penalty accepted. 15-yard face mask tacked on. Automatic first down as this offense is starting to get a little bit of oil in the engine. It's running quite well, fellas. The transmission, I know we're shifting into different gears, but I'll tell you what, Deshaun Jackson, though, that should have been batted down. Doesn't end up getting played all too well by the cornerback on that corner route. And make it 17-0 after this one. And what's a Deshaun Jackson without doing a fucking celebration, and then does the wrong celebration to shush a fucking crowd at home? Beautifully done. I mean, we know Deshaun Jackson's known for pissing off fans at the Meadowlands, but it's more so the New York Giants. So let's just be honest with that. Rude should have just caught that one. I should have moved up on that one for the pick. But still, this offense only with 76 total yards here in the first half. Made that, 70 after a sack. 3rd and 16. A little bit over a minute through halfway in this third quarter. Batted down. Going to be Jets ball yet again. 17-0. 6:31 left here in the third quarter. Nice read and great vision by MJD to cut it up the field. Lead to about 8 yards when it looked like it was just going sour right up on the left side. And then a nice counter play to get to the outside. Pierre Thomas is going to be a play action, just a halfback look. Nice juke move by Pierre Thomas. Broken tackle 2. No face mask on this one, however. It's going to lead to 3rd down. Just under 5 minutes left in this quarter. Jason Campbell's going to start waltzing his way to a first down. Gets it done. No fumble, thank God. And then MJD is going to set up a nice run of about 5 yards on that one. 2nd and 5 later on in the drive. MJD looks to get another first down, another 5 or 6 yards. This offense continues to get shit done. I mean, hey, we're at an important game. It kind of feels like we're already in a playoff game, as is. And Deshaun Jackson's just shooting off against this team. 75 yards, 2 touchdown catches for the young man. Just his second season as he is a rookie in this Madden NFL game. Mind you, he in the PlayStation 2 game, he's on the fucking cover of NCAA Football 09. And then, of course, Brian Orakpo in 2010. But now 24-0. Asamoah gets the opportunity for the interception, only to drop it. And then, beautifully done. Derek Johnson on the outside. We haven't really seen much of him this season, in my opinion. More so probably in simulated games with this team. Is Derek Johnson. Finally gets a sack, I think, out of most of the games that I've shown of this team. Not much going. And especially not much going for Bill Belichick and this Patriots team. They're going to make the playoffs most likely, considering both of us are 10-5. Moving our way to, what, a 10-6 team and 11-5 team. At worst, 10-5-1. But let's be honest, there's no way this game's going to be a loss or a tie. Especially when we're running the ball this well. Another first down by MJD, 24-0. Again, I just got to mention it. This defense, #1 defense in all of football, it makes sense. We get a Rex Ryan type team. Our left tackle, he's fucking good, fellas, and yet he's going to fucking sit here and get 4 fucking holding penalties in this game? What kind of doo-doo is that? Come on, man. What kind of doo-doo is that? And speaking of doo-doo, beautiful play by the middle linebacker. I'm sorry. That dude is not making that play in real life. I don't give a fuck who you are. Brian Urlacher doesn't even make that play. Ray Lewis doesn't make that play. They don't have those hands. They ain't got those hands. But whatever, though. 4th down after the scramble on that one. Running down the clock. Make it 27-0. 27-0. Jets ball again later on in the game. Nice run. I mean, silky smooth juke to cut it up the middle by MJD. And then just a nice juke move to buy 2 or 3 more yards. But that's a shutout, fellas. And I thought it was a nice little statement to show how good this team could be. Offense, it's kind of like what I was talking about with the Dolphins. Dolphins team in Madden, the CPU team. Again, defenses have been drafted quite well, or we've gotten lucky with these franchises to where our defenses are #1 defenses. And the CPU drafted ones. But hey, we just got to get better offense, especially in the playoffs. But we end up getting a bye. And a new record. Adrian Peterson finally does end up breaking that rushing record. And it's with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2,211 rushing yards. Baltimore Ravens against Tennessee. It's going to be Wes Welker having himself quite a day. Brian Westbrook on the other end of this game. The sad end, considering it is a 27-24 loss. Matt Ryan at quarterback right here. Losing with Brian Westbrook and this Tennessee team. Baltimore Ravens get the one with Styles and company. So, pretty interesting start to this one. I thought maybe we'd get some Steve McNair, Vince Young shit. But again, I don't think we really saw much of that anyways. But Matt Ryan, decent game himself. Lawrence Maroney, good game, over 100 yards. Same thing with Brian Westbrook. 168 yards and 2 touchdowns by a young Wes Welker at a Texas Tech. Kellen Winslow on this team, Roddy White, Brian Westbrook. Tight game. So I'm not going to say they got their asses kicked, but that is too good of a team, I think, to lose that game, that Titans team. But again, another 27-24. However, it's going to be the home team that ends up winning this one. Arizona Cardinals take down division rival San Francisco 49ers. Hopkins. I looked at the rosters. I believe Hopkins was the #1 overall pick for this Arizona team. He's 89 overall already. Or he may have been the 5th. He's either the 1st or 5th. But quarterback, the Stacey Hopkins guy. He ends up winning Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. 2 touchdowns, LaDainian Tomlinson, Kevin Smith. Not only making comics and movies, he's also running for 100 yards for the Arizona Cardinals. Randy Moss on this one. With Antonio Gates and LaDainian Tomlinson. Randy McMichael. Joe Dravicius. I always think of Joe Dravicius as like General Grievous for some reason. I don't know, y'all let me know. But Patriots end up losing 10-24 against the Raiders. So basically it's going to be settling like prison rules. We're going to be facing the Raiders next round. Hosting them. It's going to be an Aaron Rodgers team with the Raiders. And he doesn't, besides Kevin Curtis and Santonio Holmes, neither of these guys are like in the 90s or anything like that. Even though both of them have good speed. But again, New England's offense just he's not really doing all too amazingly well, in my opinion. You got one touchdown, 215 yards, so definitely this Raiders defense allowed them to have a decent amount of yardage, but not to get too much done with it. Frank Gore is on this offense, so I think more so with the Raiders, it's just to maintain probably 3 or 4 touchdowns in the next game against them. Their defense probably isn't all too well, since still allowing 300 yards or so against the Patriots. But it's just a matter of closing down this offense. And then right here, get an overtime game. Vikings end up beating the Dallas Cowboys. Carson Palmer, Reggie Wayne and company against Drew Brees, TJ Houshmandzadeh, T.O. as well. So go figure on that one. Julius Jones, not actually even the starter. I think it's Brandon Jacobs with this Minnesota team. He's the starting running back with Julius Jones as the backup. Julius Jones ends up ripping off a 60-yard touchdown run to help this team end up winning. Get the Shane Graham overtime winner field goal of 130 yards rushing by Mr. Brandon Jacobs. 125 by Kevin Jones. Jeremy Shockey's on this team as well. So a pretty decent offensive attack, especially when you have Carson Palmer too, who's rated quite well in this game. But here we go. Bengals end up getting the win against a Ravens team. Like I said, Raiders will be facing us here in the divisional round of the AFC playoffs. But Mark Bulger and company, we're going to have to be seeing these guys again. Chad Johnson's on this team with Mark Bulger. Matt Hasselbeck with the Baltimore Ravens ends up going down by 8 points in Cincinnati. 14-yard pass. Just looking at all the little scores and stuff. Chad Johnson yet again. Wes Welker with a good game, it seems like. But more so, just not huge fireworks. We're not talking about the Cincinnati team that we had in the Texans franchise, in which we played them. I'm not going to say anything about that game. We're not going to say anything about that game. But 239 yards, 260. So gets outperformed in yardage, but his team ends up getting it. Edgerrin James on this team with Greg Jones, the fullback. And then Chris Baker. Not nearly as many yards for Wes Welker. Doesn't get the most catches, but huge game by Chad Johnson. 157 yards on 8 catches. 2 touchdown catches, but now we get another division game. The Vikings end up visiting Green Bay against Tom Brady. Tom Brady in Green Bay. And Carson Palmer ends up ripping off the win. Minnesota Vikings go into Green Bay here in the playoffs. Get the win. I think it's time for Tom Brady just pulling Aaron Rodgers. Time to get the fuck out. Time to get the fuck out. 12-4, you end up winning right here with the NFC. Atop the NFC, you get your bye. Only for you to, end up not getting the win. Here for this team, 217 yards. But again, what does Tom Brady do when he doesn't have a great defense? He ends up losing. So, see what it is. Brandon Jacobs, 82 yards. Jeremy Shockey and Reggie Wayne, 2 solid games, I'd have to say. Not huge games, but solid games. Tony Gonzalez has a decent game, 68 yards, 6 receptions. But hey, it's the playoffs. You should expect a Chad Johnson type game. But looking forward to this one. Both teams just recently off of just the one win. For us, it was the 1-1 leading into the playoffs. Felt like a playoff game anyways, and they ended up having their playoff win. The Raiders, so 2 offenses, they're going to outscore us on average, so I'm looking forward to trying to shut down this offense. As always, fellas, looking forward to this game, and see y'all next time.